DJ Westwood, man. He's a DJ out of, I guess, Britain or whatever. I never really heard of this guy, but he's being charged with 4 counts of rape. Wow. So it says former Radio 1 DJ Tim Westwood charged with 4 counts of the R word. Ex-BBC Radio 1 and former Capital Extra DJ Tim Westwood has been charged with 4 counts of rape, the Metropolitan Police have said. The 68-year-old has been charged with 9 counts of indecent assault and 2 counts of sexual assault. The charges related to 7 women, wow, 7, with the allegations spanning from 1983 to 2016. Damn, 1983, that was, shit, about 3 years before I'm born. That's crazy. It's a long, long time, man. Mr. Westwood is due to appear at a Westminster Magistrate Court on November 10th. He's been charged with the following offenses. 1983, a 17-year-old girl was allegedly decently assaulted in a former area of London. In 1986, a woman in her 20s was allegedly decently assaulted in a Vauxhall area of London. Between 1995 and 1996, a woman between the ages of 17 and 18 was allegedly raped in London. It was also alleged that the same woman was decently assaulted in central London within the same time frame. Between 2000 and 2001, a female between the age of 17 and 18 was allegedly or indecently assaulted in London. Okay, so he basically got a pattern. This is a pattern, man. So from 1983 to 2016, 7 women basically charged, man, which is crazy. Linnell Aden, chief crown prosecutor, said, "Our prosecutors have established that there is sufficient evidence to bring the case to trial and that it is in the public interest to pursue criminal proceedings. The Crown Prosecuting Service remind everyone that criminal proceedings are active and the defendant has a right to a fair trial. It is extremely important that there are no reporting, commentary, or sharing of the information online which can in any way prejudice these proceedings." Detective Superintendent Andy Furphy of the Metropolitan Police continued to appeal for further witnesses and said, "It takes courage to come forward and report allegations of this nature." Mr. Westwood was an earlier champion of hip hop in the UK and came to public attention when he began hosting his rap show on Radio 1 from 1994. In 2022, following a joint investigation of The Guardian and BBC News broadcast accusations by 18 women of predatory and unwanted sexual behavior and touching an alleged incident from 1992 to 2017, the Mr. Westwood has denied claims of misconduct. Wow. This guy here, man, I'm guessing they trying to they really trying to do this dude like maybe Bill Cosby, because I'm like, they're saying since the 80s, you know what I'm saying? And it's 2025 now, so it's over 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff that happened. And me, man, listen, sometime, like I say in my previous video, man, I'm a realist. I'm gonna keep it real. It's like some of that stuff happened so long ago. This guy that been big ever since then, made so much money, multi-millionaire probably because he's well known. So I don't know if the women from the 1983 tried to sue this guy before, tried to get him locked up before. I'm not sure, but it's like to me it's always why come forward now? You know what I'm saying? I know it's like some people say it's no time limit on when they're being R word. I get that, but it's like wow, 1983. That's a long fucking time, don't you think? Like, lock. I mean, if he's guilty, lock his ass up. You know what I'm saying? If he's guilty, lock him up. But I'm just saying, I always think like when it happened, man, kind of come forward. You know what I'm saying? And I don't really know this guy like that. You know what I'm saying? I know people I talked to kind of know him and told me about this story, but I don't know, man. Like if I'm wrong, man, let me know in the chat, man. If I'm wrong for saying that, you know what I'm saying? Let me know. Let's play a video from YouTube.
Now let's return to that breaking news of the last few minutes. Just let me remind you what prosecutors here in the UK have said. They have charged the former BBC Radio DJ Tim Westwood with 4 counts of rape, 9 counts of indecent assault, and 2 other counts of sexual assault. So those details coming in the last few minutes. Here in the studio with me is our senior UK correspondent, Seema Katecha. And Seema, just tell us a little more what the Crown prosecution have actually said in the last few minutes.
Yes, right. So, Matthew, as you say, Tim Westwood, 68-year-old, used to be a DJ on One Extra for many, many years. He has now been charged with 9 counts of indecent assault, 2 counts of sexual assault, 4 counts of rape. Now, these relate to non-recent offences between 1983 and 2016 involving 7 women, so they're not recent, and he's going to appear at Westminster Magistrates Court on the 11th of November. We can tell you what the CPS say. They say that they've decided to prosecute Tim Westwood for a series of serious offences. Our prosecutors have established that there is sufficient evidence to bring the case to trial and that it is in the public interest to pursue criminal proceedings. The Crown Prosecution Service reminds everyone that criminal proceedings are active and that the defendant has the right to a fair trial. I can bring you a few more details from the Metropolitan Police about these allegations of these offences. He's been charged with the following. In 1983, a 17-year-old girl was indecently assaulted in the Fulham area of London. In 1986, a woman in her 20s was sexually assaulted in the Vauxhall area of London. Between 1995 and 1996, a female between the ages of 17 and 18 was raped in London. It is also alleged that the same woman was sexually assaulted in central London within the same time frame. Between 2000 and 2001, a female between the ages of 17 and 18 was raped and sexually assaulted in London. In 2010, a woman in her 20s was raped in London. In 2010, a woman in her 20s was sexually assaulted in Stroud. In 2016, a woman in her 20s was sexually assaulted in the Finchley area of London. And as I said, these charges relate to 7 different women.
A couple of questions. Remind people watching around the world a little more about who Tim Westwood was. How long did he work for the BBC? When did these allegations first emerge? And has there been any reaction from him or the BBC?
Yes, so he worked on One Extra for many, many years, one of the most famous DJs at that time. And some of our viewers and listeners may recall that in, let me just remind you of the date, 2022 in April, the BBC actually carried out an investigation where it heard from 18 different women making very serious allegations about Tim Westwood. That investigation was carried out by a reporter, Chichi Azundu. That was back in 2022. So a very prominent DJ at that time. We've not heard anything from him as yet. We've not heard anything from the BBC either, but this story has just broken in the last 20 minutes or so.
See, I know you're going to keep an eye on it.
Listen, man, this guy, I'm going to be honest with you. If he didn't, they're not suing. I mean, what I'm thinking, they're not suing. I ain't seen nothing. They're not suing. They trying to send his ass to jail. And in my eyes, that's what should happen. You know what I'm saying? If all this is true, yes, he should be going to jail for a long, long, long damn time. You know what I'm saying? Because no one deserved that right there. And this guy, what she's saying, this guy was a big DJ. You know what I'm saying? So, and in the 1980s and stuff like 1990s, man, when drugs was people, celebrities doing all them drugs and stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know, man. This case is wild, but listen, y'all tell me what y'all think, man.